Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1040A, and today's date is August 4th, 2016, and the title of the episode is Factory Orders Trucking Have Imploded? Recovery? I think not. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, today we can see the market down a little bit, gold holding steady right now, really not making those moves that we saw previous. And we're starting to see that many of the countries right now, they are reporting that their economies are slowing down. And we talked about Vancouver, we talked about the UK. And if we look at Australia right now, their retail spending growth, it is at its slowest annual pace in 3 years. Spending just rose by 0.1% in June. Figures from the Australian Bureau of Statistics show below market expectations of growth of 0.3%. The biggest falls were felt in hardware, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, the food section, and even alcohol. Those sales fell in June. Every country is going to be affected by what is happening. There's no escaping it. We see here in the United States, initial jobless claims, they're hovering at 43-year lows. They moved up a little bit. And we can see that Challenger Gray and Christmas, for the second consecutive month, we're seeing a rise in layoffs. Now, we know the United States, they got rid of that department. They're not counting layoffs at this point. Back in 2013, they didn't have the budget to keep that department open. So they closed it. So we refer to Challenger Gray and Christmas. But we can see right now that all of these individuals that want to work, they're having a problem finding that job. All the individuals that are getting laid off, they're either getting part-time jobs or no work at all. This is why we're seeing what we're seeing in the economy. We're seeing retail contract, GDP declining. Even when it's manipulated, they can't manipulate it enough to make it even look good. And we see other indicators, the housing bubble popping. We're seeing millennials. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They don't even have enough to pay for their student loans. This is how bad it is. I mean, take the case of this 21-year-old recent graduate from Temple University. She says that by the time she retires, she doesn't even know if she can have $1 million in her retirement fund. Now, she landed a full-time job as an account coordinator at Philadelphia Magazine and works other jobs on the side just to pay her student loans. The one job, she's not making enough money. She lives at home. This tells us that this system is breaking down. She even says, I hate my student loans. Because of them, she says she isn't able to move out as soon as she would like. And after paying off the student loan each month, she has hardly any money to spend on anything. Which is odd because the White House was out there praising the student loan industry, telling everyone that it has no effect on the economy whatsoever. What is clear is that 64% of working millennials say they will never accumulate $1 million in retirement savings over their lifetime. And another study reports 54% of millennial women reported they live paycheck to paycheck compared to 43% of men. I mean, that's almost half. This is absolutely awful. And then we look at other indicators in the economy. Class 8 trucking. They just dropped and imploded. They're abysmal. Now, Class 8 truck orders for July came in at 10,500, which is down 57% year on year and 19% sequentially compared to June. July marked the 17th consecutive month of year-on-year declines and the lowest reading since February 2010. Now, we have other information here, and it's quite shocking, is that July orders were 77% lower than the peak shipping month recorded in October 2014. And what we're seeing right now is that the industry has been hit with cancellation orders. And there are too many trucks chasing too little freight. So when we look at this, we see that this Class 8 trucking, it is declining. Freight shipments in the United States peaked in December of 2014 and have been on the decline ever since. Then we look at factory orders. It doesn't get any better. U.S. factory orders, they plunged by 5.6% year on year. This is the worst drop since September of 2015. This extends the period of an annual contraction of about 20 months or so. This is a record streak of declines in U.S. history. And it coincides with, yes, a recession / depression. And when we look at this, we can see that we are headed in that direction. If we go back to 2008, 2009, we're at that point already. And it doesn't look good. It looks absolutely awful going forward. Out in the UK, the people are very worried about what is happening. And what we're seeing is that people are hoarding cash right now. They're taking their currency out of the bank and they're placing it someplace in their house. So they're hoarding currency. They're nervous about the banking system. They know rates are going to be cut. There might be even bail-ins. And people are very, very nervous about what's happening. And we know that the system cannot sustain itself. I mean, the people around the world, they're starting to realize what's going on here. Just like the people in Greece, where they elected a new president, prime minister, Tsipras, and he went out and did the opposite of what he promised. People saw that the economy was collapsing. They saw there's going to be more austerity. And people ran to the bank and took their currency out of the bank because they had this feeling that there were going to be capital controls, maybe even bail-ins. There still might be. Greece is a complete disaster. I mean, the IMF has just admitted that they have not made the situation any better. Actually, they've made it worse. And we're starting to see that many countries now are looking at the situation, many people in the countries are looking at the situation, and they're saying to themselves, maybe I should take some currency and hide it someplace. Maybe I should buy some gold and silver to ensure my wealth. And this is what everyone should do. I mean, I do it. I only keep enough to pay for the electric, to pay for water. Everything else, I place in other places outside of the banking system. I also have my physical gold and silver on hand just in case I need it. Make sure you have access to it. And we understand at this point that as things continually deteriorate, it's not going to improve. Actually, we've been watching this. It has not improved. The only thing that's gotten better sometimes is the stock market. It's gone up, people feel good. It's come down, people feel bad. But every other economic indicator that we've been watching has continually declined. And we don't want to end up in the situation that the people in Venezuela are in. I mean, it has gone from bad to worse to complete chaos down in Venezuela. I mean, people are standing in line for 12 hours, hoping there will be food to buy that day. There's rioting, there's looting. It's common there. Actually, people are resorting to going to the zoos and slaughtering animals. And they've done this to a black stallion horse. They slaughtered it for meat. And previously, in the zoo, they've gone ahead and they went after pigs and other type of animals to eat. This is how bad the situation is, and it is not getting any better. And you don't want to end up in the crowd of people running around trying to find food for your family. And I've said this before, the economy is like a ticking time bomb. While it's ticking down, everything seems great. Until it hits zero, that's when we have the problem. And of course, everyone wakes up when it hits zero because we have the big boom. And when we hear this big boom, people don't know what to do. And we've seen this before. And this is why you all need to be prepared. Don't wait for the last minute. Whatever you can get now, get it. You'll be happy later on. You'll be happy that you have your water, your food, your weapon, your gold, your silver, your currency. You'll be happy that you took those steps to say, well, thank God I did that. At least I have something here. And when you look out your window and you see the craziness, you can say, okay, I did the right thing. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.